Cruzio Internet is an ISP. We've been in business for 30 years. Santa Cruz is kind of a special place, and we've always had a place in technology. We're a community where there are a lot of hippies and there are a lot of technologists. So we kind of have the Grateful Dead. At the same time, we had Lockheed nearby and HP and other big technical companies. So Santa Cruz is kind of a mixture of people who have a lot of creative vision and who are also very scientifically based. We're thinking, what about the next 30 years? So not just the 1 or 2. The first thing is you need that really good infrastructure to last a long time. The telephone lines have lasted 50 to 100 years. They are getting to the end of their life. And we're putting in those fiber optics, they're going to last 50 years or more. So that's why we're doing the fiber. We are just making sure that we give the best possible service in downtown Santa Cruz, and now it's up to the consumers. It's up to our local residences and businesses. They need to buy in.
Our Santa Cruz fiber network came from a vision to build better connectivity in Santa Cruz. When we started construction, we determined that the zone we'd start with would be our downtown core. It's where we're located, it's where our biggest customers and most supportive customers are. We started with fiber runs directly to every parcel. We wanted to build this network for future expandability. Using whatever technology was going to be available, we wanted to make sure that no doors were closed to us. That network now covers, I believe, a little over 1,000 addresses, maybe around 1,400. And we plan on expanding that out over the years and being able to build it further. We're also leveraging wireless technology off the edges of the fiber to take connectivity further out to customers.
We are our own landlord. Our owner owns the building. It seemed like a smart investment for the future of the business to be able to offer the service not only to ourselves, but to our adjoining tenants as well. So it was the right time to upgrade the infrastructure. I think we're all only going to be using more data in our businesses as we evolve.
When we were doing our planning, we saw that if we got about a 30% take rate, that would enable us to pay for our initial investment. And so anything above that is bringing in money that we can use to expand. When we were deciding to do a fiber optic network, we looked at what is the very best way that we can make this service work, because we looked at a lot of different solutions, a lot of different equipment that we could have for the customer equipment that's in their house and for the network. And we looked at Calix and we saw that we would be able to provide a much higher and better level of service than we ever did before.
We've been hesitant in the past with, just a normal cable internet service to open up a Wi-Fi network to our customers because of bandwidth issues. Having a fiber network here and its increased capacity would allow us to open up a Wi-Fi network for our guests, have them come in, enjoy a bottle of wine, sit down, do some work on their computer, maybe have a small bite and use the space for both work and enjoyment.
As far as platform selection from the back end, we landed with the AXOS system mainly just after talking to the Calix engineers and realizing how tightly we'd be able to integrate it with our existing support and billing systems. Our internal engineers have worked with Calix real closely to build hooks kind of at every level of our support process to where we don't have to change systems or have 2 screens going at once and be looking back and forth. We can hook directly through from our existing support system. The ability for us to integrate the automation of provisioning, deprovisioning, suspension, reactivation, all of those things on other systems and even on other portions of our network, those things are pretty time consuming and there can be multiple handoffs between departments. Those are all opportunities for mistakes to be made and for time to be spent, which costs money. For us to be able to fully integrate that and automate as much as possible lets us both eliminate potential errors and also reduce costs on the administration side. So a huge part of the Calix platform for us is that overall reduction of cost of ownership of the customer. We want to reduce our cost of support. That's everything from the time spent on the phone with the customer trying to identify what the problems are, where we've got that higher visibility, all the way out to reducing the number of truck rolls. You know, it's expensive to roll a truck out to a customer. I'd much rather have our tech spend 5 minutes on the phone than spend that 5 minutes scheduling an appointment that we've then got to go do. For us, the right time to have a platform like this in place would have been 5 years ago. Realistically, it's just a case of if the sooner we can get things like this deployed that make our lives easier, we want to do it.